And so it was, just 9 months later, that we returned for the second stage across Central Africa to Kenya and Tanzania. Just 4 of us on the leg through to Uganda, Lloyd Powell and his 2 teenagers, Ray and Byron, joining me. With my wife Judy, son Hamish, and fiancée Rachel, and Julie Powell to meet us in Kampala on Christmas Eve. Our route was directly eastwards, from the Ivory Coast through Ghana, Togo, Benin, Nigeria, Cameroon and the Central African Republic to find a way into Zaire. All our research told us little of the latest political and safety conditions in these countries. And so as we set off, it really was going to be an experience into the unknown, but with some pleasant interludes at the start, including from some people who welcomed us back from the last time we were here. It was a hospitable part of the world, but we had to be on our way if we were to reach Kampala by Christmas. Just 4 weeks, a timetable that events proved was quite unrealistic. It was into Nigeria that our journey very nearly came to an end. Heading out of Lagos on one of the few stretches of bitumen road, our Land Rover developed a swerve wobble, slammed into the concrete median wall, spun off across the road and into the jungle, rolling down the bank and incredibly landing on its wheels. The roll bar inside and the bull bars had saved us without so much as a scratch. Somebody was clearly looking over us. And so, with some repairs as best we could, we were soon on our way again. Into Cameroon, and onto roads, if you could call them that progressively deteriorated and slowed our progress, and started to take their toll during 10 hours of driving each day. But there were many pleasant interludes, being deluged by school children, driving through the cool and scenic highlands of Cameroon. And at the end of the day, cooking a concoction of all the local vegetables we could find. And then sharing time with those children who obviously didn't get to school. At a swimming hole in the river with the locals. And then catching up with our washing at every opportunity we had. To visit the village of near Pygmies in the Central African Republic, living at a subsistence level, but seemingly happy enough to sing and dance for us. Into Bangui now, capital of the Central African Republic, finding that we couldn't get into Zaire from here, and having to go further east to Bungasu. Making quite good progress. And then having the pleasure of stopping overnight with local villagers. Encountering a well-presented family with their precious Bible and a small memento from us. Encountering also the cool and refreshing waters of a local river, inviting us to swim, but time didn't allow. We were continuing to make quite good progress, with a critical opportunity to refuel, the next not until Kisangani in the depths of Zaire. Our route was to take us from Bangassou and down through the rainforest to Kisangani. And so we came to the river border of Zaire. Formerly the Belgian Congo, Zaire is said to be an explorer's dream, with everything that adds up to genuine adventure. Well, that was certainly our experience. But one should also add that the country is wholly structured on bribery and corruption. With its so-called military, a bunch of cowboys actually, unpaid for months and totally bored out of their minds, just waiting for a chance to loose off their AK-47s and blow somebody away. And that was exactly what we experienced as we headed into Zaire. Initially the tracks were quite good and we made good progress. But this was short-lived and our progress slowed. Getting deeper into Zaire now. Considering Zaire has never had, nor is ever likely to have, electricity in this part of the world, the sight of an electric light pole really boggled our minds. And our progress slowed as the conditions became more difficult. Another river to cross. And many hours to find the barge master somewhere distant in the jungle, and to take 10 litres of diesel to the other side as the price of the crossing. The track was starting to deteriorate now, and our progress more difficult. Kampala by Christmas was not looking good. As our worries increased, there were picturesque interludes at the same time. At Bondo, crossing the Uli River in the early morning, having to use our Land Rover battery to get the barge started, and our diesel to keep it going. Heading deeper into the rainforest now. Vast tracts of bamboo with an abundance of highly coloured butterflies, and a growing abundance of mud holes, which were getting deeper and deeper the further south we went. The seasonal rains had apparently started earlier than usual, and this had slowed our progress dramatically. Literally crawling now, with still much worse to come. And the log bridges were also becoming more difficult. A bit of a challenge, actually, knowing that if you got it wrong, there could be a drop of 20 or 30 feet to the river below and no hope of recovery. Increasingly now, we had to resort to our indispensable turf winch, to winch away for an hour or so and just hope the second Land Rover would get through. We were now winching more than we were driving. And it was this situation which finally made up our minds. We had joined forces with an overlander, but when we all became hopelessly bogged, we realized we had no choice but to turn back. To get out of the rainforests, if we could, and to take a more northern route, parallel with the Sudanese border, to try to reach Uganda that way, through a Sahara to refuel, but necessarily from the black market in the middle of the night to avoid the militia, which had a reputation of shooting first and asking questions afterwards. And at long last to the exit border out of Zaire, but not before the Zairean border guards threatened to blow us away if we didn't make a major financial contribution to their well-being. And so, after driving 16-hour days, what a relief to reach Kampala, unbelievably, in the early hours of Christmas Day. To join with the rest of our New Zealand team in combining not only the celebration of Christmas, but also our safe arrival from across Central Africa, which could have cost us our lives.